This morning, Iran's military warns if it will retaliate, that is, if President Trump follows through with his threat to strike Iran's power plants if the Strait of Hormuz isn't opened up. The president gave a deadline of later tonight, though Iran says the strait is already open. NATO officials said nearly 24 nations are now coming together to work towards securing the key shipping route. As CBS's Bradley Blackburn reports, the new efforts, now turning into a worldwide coalition, come as a new CBS News poll show 57% of Americans believe the conflict is going badly.
The clock is ticking on President Trump's threat to, quote, obliterate Iran's power plants if the country doesn't fully open the Strait of Hormuz by tonight. On social media, Iran's foreign minister responded the key shipping route is not closed, suggesting that ships hesitate because of what he calls a war of choice initiated by the U.S. It comes as NATO's Secretary General said 22 nations are planning efforts to protect the strait.
Military planners are now working together to make sure that we are ready, to make sure that that Strait of Hormuz, that we secure the free sailing there, which is crucial for the world economy.
Israel and Iran continued to launch strikes toward each other overnight. While touring the destruction of one neighborhood Sunday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned that Iran has missiles capable of striking Europe.
It's time to see the leaders of the rest of the countries join up.
Officials tell CBS News the U.S. has hit 7,800 targets since the war began more than 3 weeks ago, though a new CBS News poll finds 60% of Americans disapprove of the U.S. taking military action against Iran, while 40% approve. Those views are heavily split along party lines. The poll shows a narrow gap between those who believe the U.S. will not need to send ground troops compared to those who do.
The president will keep all options on the table.
Sources tell CBS thousands of U.S. service members are being moved to the Middle East to be at the ready. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Now back to that CBS News poll. Many Americans also worried about the conflict's effects on the U.S. economy, with 63% saying the conflict will make it weaker in the short term. 85% say those surveyed say gas prices have gone up in the area since the conflict started, with 67% of Americans saying people should not be willing to pay more money for gas because of this conflict.